Welcome back, guys. I'm Daniel from Corner Piece. In this video, I'm going to show you how to design this simple business card using Figma. If you're new to the channel, please hit on the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notifications bell to get notified anytime I drop videos like this. Welcome back. So over here we have a blank canvas where we're going to start our design from. I'm really excited we're about to do this. Like, I'm so excited. All right, so to get it started, as the ritual is, we'll have to set the name of our file or our project. So we're about to create a business card, so we call it business card. Hit the enter key to rename it. The next thing we want to do is to set our frame. Now, when we go to our frame tool, by default, Figma has a list of already defined frames for phones, for tablets, for desktop, for presentation, for wristwatches and paper. I mean, there are a whole lot you can do with Figma. But in our case, for now, since business cards are not so common, we'll have to define our the size of our business card ourselves. So what I usually do is I click on the frame tool and just set a size such that I have to manually come and set the width and the height of the card. Okay, so to do that, I clicked on my frame tool and I just dragged on my canvas, and then I'll have to manually come over to the width and set our width. So we're going to be making use of the US card size, which has a width of 1050 by 600. Okay, so once we hit enter, it automatically shape things up for us, and all we need to do is to centralize and zoom up. Right, looking good. Let's continue. So we have our first frame. The first thing we want to do is to add up our logo. Remember, we want the design to look like this. So we're going to add our logo to the front card. We could also rename our frames. From frame 1, I want to name this front. Okay, so this should be the front of the card. So we're going to go ahead to add our logo. I already have a copy of the logo I want to use on my desktop, so I'll just go ahead to pick it up and bring it over here. All right, so this is the logo I'm going to be using for my card, and I'm just going to resize it. So to resize it such that you don't lose pixels and distort the image size, you have to hold down the shift key and the alt key together for Windows and drag. Okay, and drag it to resize it from all directions. Just when it looks good enough, we can let go. So I think this looks good enough. The next thing I have to do is to align horizontal center. Okay, so I'm sure my image is at the center of my screen, so I'll shift it up a little. Since the name of the company is going to be coming down here, I just shifted it up a little and everything looks good. The next thing we'll have to do is to write the name of the company. So we select the text tool and type. So the name of our company is going to be Xamarin. Okay, so Xamarin for the name of our company, and we'll just have to set the font size, say 36, and actually like using the Poppins font and selecting the semi-bold fonts. All right, so once we select the semi-bold font size, it looks good. The next thing we want to do is align our text to the center. Okay, beg your pardon. So click to set it to the middle. Okay, looks good. And we'll have to change the color of the text. Now I want to use the gray, but this doesn't look good enough. I have a gray I like using. I'm just going to pick it up from my computer, and it's this color, right? 949493. Enter, and looks good. So we may just increase the size of our fonts to 48. Okay, and also increase the size of our logo. Right, this looks good, and this looks good. All right, so we're almost there. We have our logo now, and we have the name of our company written here. So let's increase the spacing just a little for our text. Great, so this looks better. So we have this, and that's pretty much for the front part of our business card. Remember, we want to keep things simple, nothing so sophisticated, just simple. Okay, I think it's best we leave it on the semi-bold. Right, so the next thing we want to do is to create the rear part of the card. That's where a little bit of the work is going to be. So I'm just going to duplicate this frame, and to do that I'm going to click on the frame, hold down my Alt key, and drag it down. So I drag it down such that they're on the same plane, and I'm going to get rid of the logo. At least I don't need it for now. Also get rid of the name of the company and change the name of our frame to rear. Okay, so rear. I changed the name of the frame by double clicking on the frame name, so that allows you to change the name of the frame. Okay, don't forget what we have in mind. Our design for the rear looks like this. Alright, so the next thing we want to do is add the name of the card holder. So click on our text tool, then type the name. For this tutorial we're going to be using Leah Martinez. Okay, so everything looks good. How about you let me know if you want me to use your name for our next tutorial, just on a lighter note. So we want to change the color of our text to be one of the colors we have on our logo, just so everything is aligned. So we need to do that by selecting our text first. Click on the fill, select the eyedrop tool, then click on that. Okay, I think this looks great, and maybe we should just reduce the line height just a little bit. Okay, like so. All right, that's good. And also, okay, now there's this thing I like doing to help me align my items on the card. Okay, so just so when we want to probably print the card, we could have a little bit of safe area. So what I usually do is set my contents, let them have a padding of say 65 or 53, okay, to the top of the card and also to the left and right of the card. So 53. Now I like doing this because we will be able to have some space around the card when we want to print it out. Okay, so we have Martinez there, Leo Martinez, everything looks good. The next thing we want to do is add his position. Great. Now this looks way better. So he should be the director marketing and the branch should be in France. Let's say he's the director marketing in our France branch. So this looks great. We've entered the name of the card holder and his portfolio, his designation. Next we want to add his contact details. Okay, so for the email address, we can say email. Okay, looks good, and we'll just change the font size color to that, and we'll drag it to this part of our screen. Great. So we want it to be aligned with the name such that we have that padding I told you of 53. Everything looking great. So we want to duplicate this text, right? And this time, so for his email, we're going to say Martinez at our company name, which is zermarine.com. Okay, now we don't want it to get to this edge because of that padding I told you. We need to give some breathing space to the contents, right? So we want to shift it to this way, and let's inspect to be sure we still have our padding of 53. So I'm going to use my directional keys to keep on shifting it till I get to 53, like so, and adjust my email label this way. Let's bring it down a little. Okay, we have that correct. So everything's still looking great. Let's make this a little thicker. So make the color just a little thicker such that you could easily differentiate it from there, and we're making this semi-bold. All right, so everything looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'll select these two text and duplicate them, since I'm going to be doing almost the same thing. All right, everything looking great. The next thing we have to do is just add a slug for the company. So for that, we'll be making use of our logo. So I'll just make a duplicate of this logo and bring it up here. Great. So now everything looks good. We have a very simple and straightforward business card designed with Figma. Thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe if this video was really helpful to you, and please drop some comments if there's any part you want me to help you with or get you clear on. Thank you so much, and see you on the next one.